Part 2 of this series on the very steep and dramatic Tierberg pass covers the descent and the main view site. If you intend driving this pass, it's important to watch Part 1 first, which contains the Google Earth orientation clips as well as very important safety and tourism information. In general, descending steep passes is often more dangerous than ascending them. A good rule of thumb is to use the same gear that you use to do the climb up in. This is one of South Africa's steepest passes and up till this point has an accident-free record. Let's keep it that way. These views from the summit feature the Kubi Pass in the far distance and the mountain range called Leeuwstert with its distinctive standalone peak of 887 meters directly ahead. The jumble of peaks to the right are known as Rondekoppe. Looking further towards the right, over a deep kloof, the Bokkeveldberge can be seen extending towards the northwest. In the middle of the right-hand perspective, a small farmhouse can be seen on the far side of the kloof, set amongst a copse of trees, surrounded by a large rooibos plantation. There's a true sense of timelessness in this wonderful isolated landscape. The area to the north, known as the Knarsvlakte, is a particularly well-known portion of that biodiversity hotspot, the succulent Karoo. Sprawling roughly between the towns of Van Reinsdorp and Bitterfontein, the Knarsvlakte's characteristic white quartzite gravel conceals plants with an instinct for survival. If you drive through the Knarsvlakte without being told, you'd cast a bored glance over the wide gravelly plains and think it was devoid of all life forms. However, it's a world of miniature succulent plants sheltered from the worst of the summer heat by the reflective properties of the white quartz gravel. Here you'll find plants with names as cute as they look, like baby bums, donkey ears, little buttons, fingers and thumbs. Some look like tiny green marbles and others like flowering pebbles. Some emerge above the soil only during the temperate spring season and then retreat back into the soil, almost invisible when the summer heat arrives. Experts say that these plants are extremely vulnerable to climate change and a number of strategies are being explored to safeguard them. Not surprisingly, a large portion of this botanically rich area is on the verge of being proclaimed a nature reserve by Cape Nature. Magnificent spring flowers come early to this region, with the best visiting times being from early August till late September. The quality of the wildflower display will depend largely on the volume of winter rainfall. The primary agricultural activity in this part of South Africa is the production and harvesting of rooibos tea. Rooibos is a broom-like member of the Fabaceae family of plants growing in South Africa's fynbos. The leaves are used to make a herbal tea known as rooibos in South Africa and in the UK known as redbush tea. The product has been popular in South Africa for generations and is now consumed in many countries around the world. It's sometimes also spelt as rooibos in accordance with the Old Dutch etymology. When you get to the gate at the bottom of the descent, remember to close it again and leave everything exactly as you found it. If you turn left at the gate, you'll proceed down the Kubi Pass towards the south, but please bear in mind that it is a dead end and terminates many kilometers further in an isolated valley where there are a few farms still operating commercially. If you turn right at the gate, you can proceed northwards down the Kubi Pass and return to Van Reinsdorp the way you arrived. Please treat this pass with the reverence and respect it deserves so that others may enjoy the privilege of passing this way too.